Good morning. We are group 2, and I'm Tiffany, and she's Sandra. So, our topic is minority in society. So, if you heard the presentation of group 1, actually we are pretty much the same because we have the same interviewees. And let me introduce the interviewees. The first one is Maria Nas. She's a Pakistan, and actually she's a Hong Kong resident and living in Hong Kong for around 20 years. And she studied in local school for 1 year and go to international school for 6 years. And she's a Muslim. Why she moved to international school from local school? Because she's a person which don't like boring. And she thinks international school is more interactive with teachers, and there are more interesting subjects for her to study. And the second one is Ray. He's a Chinese. He's a Hong Kong resident. He studied in Northern Ireland for 7 years. And he go there for study because his brother studied in Northern Ireland also, and this is his parents' decision for him to go to the Northern Ireland to study for better English.
First of all, we will be talking about the discrimination first. All Muslims feel more discrimination after the 9/11 incident because it is caused by a Muslim called Laden. But most of the Muslims think that is the USA sent the wrong message to the world. That means all the Muslims is terrorists. So they feel discrimination in all nations. Even different people from different nations, they will treat them as a terrorist too. It is especially for the men. You heard the story about the Nas brother. Some white woman hold him with her shoe and treat him like a terrorist. That makes many Muslims unhappy and they feel stressed. And it is one of the reasons why Nas doesn't wear scarf that Muslim women must wear to cover their face and their hair, because she don't like to treat like a domestic helper. In Hong Kong, only domestic helpers still wearing the scarf to cover their face and their hair. So this is the reason why she didn't wear scarf. But she feel more confident after the setup of the discrimination law in Hong Kong. She know that she can sue the people who discriminate on her. And how about Ray? He didn't feel any discrimination because people tell him he was the first Chinese he never saw before. People in Ireland didn't have any discrimination on him, and they didn't think of discrimination, so he feel confident there.
So actually our presentation is focused on 3 parts. The first part is Sandra said already is discrimination. And the second thing is meals. And Nas is a Muslim and she eats Pakistan food, Chinese food, all kinds of food actually. And one of the things is that she cannot eat pork. And pork is forbidden for Muslim because of the, I think it's Koran, it's 可蘭經. And the rules is that faithful Muslim cannot eat pork chops or for dinner in the name of Jesus Christ, and faithful Muslims will starve unless the food is blessed in the name of Allah only. And so we asked, how can she adapt in the society where pork is a common source of food in Hong Kong? And we know that all restaurants would like to use pork as the source of food, and we all eat pork. And she said she will order fish or vegetables or drinks only. And we asked, how about if all our friends go to a Chinese restaurant? How can she order food? And how can she identify the food in Chinese restaurants whether it's pork or not. And she said she'll ask the waiter or waitress, but the waiter and waitress never show her. And said, there's no pork. You try, there's no pork. And even there's no pork, the Chinese food usually use the oil where the pork is one of the sauce. So she preferred not to eat and just order drinks or just eat vegetables. So besides, we also asked, how about will she bring her own food when she go to school? And she said she will not. And how she cooked? She said there is some frozen food with the package of halal certified, like this. And one of the interesting things Anas said that is the McDonald's. And she said Hong Kong McDonald's is the only one with sausage muffin. That's 豬柳漢堡. And she said pork is very common, so she is so interested when she go to the McDonald's.